The difference between linear and non-linear editing is the footage and what the edit is edited on. For example, footage can be edited on a tape or the computer. Linear editing is footage being edited on a VCR, which is here. Editing this way is a long procedure. You have to have a camera with a tape slot, which is here. You have to have 2 video cassettes, one with the video footage and one to edit the tape on. You'll also need to have 2 VCR players in which you can play your footage off and record another onto it. Then you'd have to connect the VCR to the TV monitors using the component lead to watch your editing back, which is this lead here. You connect it from here into TV, or you could plug it in from the video recorder camera to the TV. Some people have an old style editing board which you can edit your footage on further, but not everyone had one of these. The cameras used to film footage this way was heavy, in which it caused a lot of cameramen health problems. Editing footage this way isn't very reliable because tapes get worn out quickly, so if the tape breaks you could possibly have to go and buy a new one, or you could possibly lose it. This is the equipment they used for linear editing. Now I'm going to talk to you about non-linear editing. Non-linear editing is done by a computer or a Mac. It's the quicker way to edit. All you need is a camera and a memory card. The editing procedure is easier to edit than linear editing. This is because after you've recorded all your footage, all you need to do is transfer it onto your computer/Mac and edit away. The camera they use for non-linear editing is a lot smaller than the camera used for linear editing. Also, if you lose your footage, you'll be backed up on your computer/Mac used for editing. Earlier on, I learnt about Lev Kuleshov, and he was a famous filmmaker when they used linear editing. So here it is. So as you can see, there's a bowl of food. Then it goes onto his face, just no facial expressions. And then again, it goes to a little girl laying in a coffin. It then clips back to his face again, and then no expression. The next clip you will see is a woman just laying there, gazing into the stars. And then you see his face again. This is because he changes the audience perspective of a film by showing different images and then showing the same face of his. So the image before makes you think he's sad, he's happy, he's upset. So we'll go through this again. As we see here, it's a bowl of food. You see his face, you think, oh, maybe he's hungry. Then you see a little girl laying in a coffin. You then see his face again, so that could be sadness. You see a woman laying there, and you see his face again, so that could be lust. Lev Kuleshov is famous for being a Soviet filmmaker and a film theorist. He taught and helped out at the world's first film school. His theory, or his technique that he used, was the Soviet montage theory. Lots of other people played part and used Soviet montage theory. Sergei Einstein, Diego Verto, and Vasudai Kotkun. They also used the Soviet montage theory. So now, we are going on to the editing I've done myself. This was my Guess the Student editing. There's a lot of different effects used in my editing. I sped up some scenes, I used transitions, opacity, blended in. My peers have marked me on my editing. They said that it sped up parts of their footage. The whole video is 47 seconds long, which is the same to be as an advert. Some of the scenes are slowed, sped up a little too much. You can see too much as you can hardly see what they are doing, which I agree with. Some of my shots were speeded up a bit too much, so you can hardly see. As if we skip to the end, about here, this bit is too fast, you can't really. It's a bit blurry as well, where it's so fast. my time was too quick, I would say, but I sped it up a bit too much. Some of it could have been slowed down. Some of my peers made the used comments on my space. Says they don't really get in order, logic order, from they'll be in the road and then they'll be somewhere completely different. This makes the video out of order and confusing. Well, to be fair, I disagree with that.
Why?
Because it's in a field, there's going to be paths, you can see the field right next to the path where he's on. It's not really that confusing. You'll be able to work it out. He's in the middle of the field, there's going to be paths, there's going to be different things where he could be. They also commented on my rhythm of the video. They said it's fine, however there are a few shots that could be a bit shorter to make things flow better, as there are parts where they linger on for a little shot, but mainly a good rhythm. Well, I agree with that comment also, because I think I do have a bit of a good rhythm, but there is some clips that do need slowing down or shortened. For instance, there's two of these shots here, one walking forward, and then shortly after there's one walking him away and forward again, so we could have shortened them. But overall, I think I've done a good editing.